All right, here we go. We are live for UFC 246. Welcome back to the new year and the new decade. And how better to bring it in than with a UFC event introducing the return of Conor McGregor. Long awaited, have not seen him since the defeat from Khabib Nurmagomedov. We'll be talking about that and more as we watch these fights. As always, if you need a link, let me know. If it goes down, again, let me know. On deck, etc., etc., etc. We're going to have ourselves a good time tonight. Guys, what has been going on? It is a whole new fucking decade out here. Are you excited? Not only for another year, another decade, but for what the fight game has in store for us. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel, I love you, Romero, has just been announced and official. Dana White has stated that he will be announcing soon. Jose Aldo, Scarface himself, getting the title shot at his new weight class of 135 against Henry Triple C the Cringe Cejudo. Cannot wait for that fight. Want to know how you guys feel about him getting that title shot and getting it off a loss. Yoel Romero also getting it off a loss. What is this? Can't order a pay-per-view unless you sign up for ESPN Plus. That is how you get more pirates. Yeah, man, that was we're gonna talk about that as well tonight, guys. That double paywall has a lot of people rumored that's why Conor McGregor has taken such lengthy layoffs since the ESPN deal. I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. But again, I'm sure Dana White knows more about this business than we do. If he says it's a good move, I trust him until proven otherwise. But you have to imagine how many people want to go buy this pay-per-view, especially the casuals who haven't bought a pay-per-view in a long time. Maybe they only buy when Conor fights. Maybe they missed the Khabib one, etc. And they see that not only is the pay-per-view $65, but you need to be a subscriber of ESPN Plus in order to pay that $65 for the pay-per-view. It is bonkers, to say the least, my friends. But again, you got to trust the UFC to do what is best when it comes to stuff like that. When it comes to fight making, etc., we can talk shit all day. I want to know who you guys got for these fights. Have you been watching since the prelims? If you have, goddamn, we have been very, very blessed by the fight gods tonight because it has been nothing but bangers and high-level MMA. I'm loving it. Let me make sure I got the stats up for you guys. Boom. How long has it been since I've seen you guys? I don't think I did. I did not go live for that Frankie Edgar Korean Zombie fight. What a fight that was, and what an upset that was for Frankie Edgar. I had Korean Zombie going into that fight, but I was afraid. I'm a big Frankie fan. I was going for, rooting for Frankie Edgar in the sense that, he's from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. I've been a fan of his for a long time. But I didn't want Frankie to come back to 145 and mess up the title picture. Korean Zombie's right there, right at just nipping at the next title shot, depending on what happens with Max Holloway. I don't see a more deserving contender right now than the Korean Zombie, especially now after the Frankie Edgar fight. But I saw him going against Frankie Edgar. It could have been a bad matchup with Frankie's wrestling. You never know how it was going to go. And I didn't want Frankie to come up for one fight and just take down a contender, a exciting contender like the Korean Zombie. So for the division, for the featherweight division, I'm happy that Frankie lost, but it's tough to see him not only lose but get knocked out like that, man. Like, we saw him go through wars for years, and now to see him knocked out twice within about a year and a half, of course referring to Brian Ortega, doing it first, and then a Korean Zombie doing it recently. It's really crazy. First fight, Anthony Pettis versus Diego Ferreira. Oh man, they have Pettis as the underdog, which I won't say is surprising. He has been up and down recently. I've seen a lot of media outlets cite his lawsuit he has against USADA, which we'll talk about how crazy and wacky that is. Fight sports is always a interesting game to follow. But I'm not sure he should be the underdog. Ferreira definitely looks like a contender. He definitely looks like an up-and-comer. But Anthony Pettis is a former champion. Anthony Pettis only fights the best of the best. Diego's going to have to prove to me that he can beat someone as accomplished, as talented, as crafty as Anthony Showtime Pettis. Who do I have for this fight? Man. I like the old school guys. We just saw Roxanne Modafferi, a.k.a. the Smiling Warrior, a.k.a. a throwback from the past, win. So I'm going to stick with the old guys tonight. Let's go Showtime. Let's bring it back. You got yourself first round knockout? I hear you. I'm rooting for you, bro. Order ESPN Plus and get your money. We can both watch it. Nah. Again, guys, if you need a link, let me know. If that link drops, again, let me know. Of course, if this is not your first time joining me, you know we always have to wait through about 20 minutes of promo before they get the goddamn card started. Let's look at Diego Ferreira's fights that he's had thus far in his young career. 16-2, very impressive record. Riding a 5-fight win streak. 3 fights by knockout, 6 by submission. But again, looking through his wins, this is the biggest test of his career. Though he's looked great thus far, I do think this is going to be this is going to be a make it or break it, man. If you beat Anthony Showtime Pettis at 155, you are instantly a contender. You are instantly a name in that top 15. I'm not sure it'll get you top 10. Very possible, but lightweight division is stacked, and a fight like this is what you need to get any type of momentum in 155. 155, because it's so stacked, not only talent-wise, but there's personalities, there's rivalries, there's so many matchups that make sense. There's so many styles that you want to see go against each other. You can be forgotten really quick. And even if you're not forgotten, you can give people excuses not to fight you. Look at Kevin Lee. I'm going to keep mentioning his name all night. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been singing his praises all week. This guy is now fighting Charles Oliveira. I heard Chael Sonnen for the last couple months talking about he should fight Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje does not want to fight Kevin Lee. Justin Gaethje is not afraid of any fighter on the UFC roster, and I don't think he's afraid of any man on this planet. I'm not saying he's afraid of Kevin Lee. But what Kevin Lee is a tough guy, someone who can wrestle and strike, someone who has fought the upper echelon of the 155 division. It's in no way, shape, or form a good matchup or a good fight for him. So his point is, Kevin Lee's lower than me in the rankings. Why would I take that risk at this point when I am either a fight or just a waiting period away from a title shot myself? It would make no sense. And a lot of those guys feel that way. They might not say it that plainly, because then you're giving Kevin Lee kind of a type of respect you don't want to give him publicly, we'll say, right? But at the same time, it doesn't make sense to fight a guy like Kevin Lee, as talented as he is, if you're above him in the rankings. So what you do is a guy like Diego Ferreira, if you can get a chance like this, a name like Showtime Pettis, of course he's coming off a loss, but he's a name. Everyone knows him, and everyone knows he's talented. Everyone knows his ceiling, or at least the highest skill level that he's shown in the UFC. So a win over him, you can then use that to fight a guy in the top 15, to go to another guy in the top 10 to fight you. Maybe they think, oh, this young guy, he just got some momentum. Let me steal it from him before he gets too talented, before he gets too much momentum, before he gets above me in the rankings, and then I can fight him. Let me just handle him now. What Kevin Lee is doing is saying, cool, nobody above me will fight me. I'm going to take out anyone below me who's looking to break into the division, to make everybody understand that I'm still here, to keep barking, to keep fighting consistently, and to keep making a statement. Shout out to Kevin Lee, and that will not be the last time we go over that tonight. I'm telling you. So Diego, if he wants to make a case in the 155-pound weight class, he needs to get this win. He needs to not only get this win, but he needs to look fantastic doing it, and that is a hard thing to do against Anthony Showtime Pettis. I said young career. Diego Ferreira is 3 years the senior of Anthony Pettis. Was unaware he was that old. Not very active. Okay, that's what it is. Really active in 2014. One fight in 2016. And then he came back on the scene in 2018. That's when I started following him. Diego Ferreira all smiles. Let's see how long that lasts in the octagon against Showtime Pettis. Anthony Pettis back down to 155 after his brief stint at 170, which started with a KO of Wonderboy Thompson and ended with a fantastic fight against Nate Diaz that he did lose. But he does look very, very good back down at 155. Looks healthy. And here we go. Round one, Anthony Pettis, Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira marching forward, expecting to be doing that all 3 rounds. He only has one gear, and it is go. Ooh, nice right hand from Anthony Showtime Pettis. Diego Ferreira keeps lifting that leg really, really high. Not sure what he's doing with that. But what he's, but one thing he's doing with that is creating a still target for Anthony Pettis. You see, he keeps eating a punch from Anthony Pettis every time he does that. Diego Ferreira tries to go for the takedown. Anthony Pettis stuffs it. Diego eats a knee for it. Nice jab from Anthony Pettis. Another one. Ooh, nice head kick from Diego Ferreira. That right hand is spot on from Anthony Pettis. Landing it a lot. Oh, nice combination from Showtime. Oh, that's a nice body kick from Diego, though. You don't want to eat a lot of those like that, man. That was shin right on his rib. And Petty just probing him. Keeping a hand out, keeping a distance. A couple of kicks to the body from Anthony Pettis. Oh, another right hand from Showtime. Showtime landing a lot, but not having to exert a lot of extra energy to land these shots. So it's not that he's like trying to keep an exhausting pace, but Diego coming forward is just creating a lot of openings for Anthony Pettis to just land those jabs. You see Diego now trying to make Anthony Pettis work against the cage. Diego able to drag him down, has his back. Anthony Pettis, no slouch in the grappling department. Several submission wins in the UFC and WEC himself. He's trying to either work a choke in or get into mount. Anthony Pettis, yep, there he goes. Able to spin out of that. Now to his feet. Oh! Diego trying to work that single leg. Switches to a double. I can't tell if his hands are locked together. Anthony Pettis able to chuck him up over his hips. Safe for now for the most part, but needs to work an underhook in. Diego has those double underhooks. Can easily pull him off the cage and work his way into a takedown again. There you go, Anthony Pettis able to pummel and get one of those underhooks. Diego has Pettis' back again. Going to try to drag him down. Diego has to break that lock. Oh, worried about that. And Diego's able to duck under and get a sweet double leg takedown right in the side control. That was nice. Early in the round, I thought Anthony Pettis was looking really, really good. But Diego able to get him down a couple times. I think Diego did enough to steal that round. Again, we are here for UFC 246. Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. Guys, I cannot express to you how excited I am for that fight and for these night of fights. Oh my goodness. Is his foot damaged again? I feel like every single fight, not every single fight, the last few fights we've seen Anthony Pettis in, he just suffers weird injuries, man. Whether it's his hand, his feet, a knee. Turn the camera around. No, my friend, I will not. Just commentary, bro. You turn your camera around and in 5 minutes you get banned. There you go. You got a link though. There you go. Conor fights in the main event. We are on the first fight. The main event is 4 fights away. So probably in about 2 hours. Diego Ferreira has the back of Anthony Pettis again. With 4.5 minutes damn near to go to the round. Anthony Pettis needs to work his way up. Try to spin around again. There we go. He's at least back. Butterfly guard. Diego just chucks that butterfly guard to the side. Right in the side control. And now has Anthony Pettis' back again because he tried to turtle. Anthony Pettis trying to crawl up to his base. Trying to avoid eating some punches, but he needs to get up. Diego not giving him an inch. Oh! Able to get the choke. Wow, that was a sneaky submission. Wow. Was the, I gotta see this replay, man. That was a sneaky, sneaky choke. Diego Ferreira just smothered him the whole fight. Ate a lot of punches for it early, but then found a way to get Anthony Pettis to the ground. Okay, that's pretty damn tight. That choke is wild. What a win for Diego Ferreira. Like always, these fighters put it all on the line out there. I'm going to just turn the volume up so we can listen to what Diego Ferreira has to say about his win.
First of all, Diego, congratulations on a tremendous victory over a former champion. You had a very unique strategy coming into this fight when you were moving towards him with one leg up. Was that something you had practiced in camp?
No, really. I just thought he tried to kick me hard, and I just tried to avoid the leg kicks, you know, and the fucking leg kicks. Sorry, the leg kicks hurt.
I'm sure.
Diego Ferreira saying he was picking his leg up just because he didn't want to eat those leg kicks.
You managed to get his back and got behind him, and it looked like more of a neck crank really than a rear naked. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I've been practicing backstage. Me and my coach, and the last few months I've been catching a lot, and yeah, that's pretty good.
Please show them the match. I can't do that, my friend, because they'll get me banned from YouTube. But there you go. Enjoy.
You were limping. Is there something hurt?
I think I popped something. I don't know if it's something major, but when I tried to get up fast and I have a little, shock, but I try to do my best to suck it up, but right now I'm feeling much better.
Well, listen, my friend, you have been on a tremendous winning
Diego Ferreira saying he thinks something popped in his leg.
Way back in 2015 and just been on a tear lately.
We hope he's good to go. Would love to see him back in the octagon soon.
Just smooth control on the ground. How happy are you with your performance, and where where do you feel like you fit in with this lightweight picture?
First, I have to say thank God and my family, my teammates from RGV helping me out, my coach from Forest MMA. It's something like I've been working so much, and right now I see the process and the results, and I'm super happy. I hope I can get back fast as I can to fight again. And I just gotta put more work, and my jiu-jitsu gotta get sharp, and my boxing, my white tie too. I wanna get better as best as I can too.
Congratulations, sir, on a tremendous performance.
We hope to see Diego Ferreira back in the octagon soon.
Celebrate the 35th birthday than that. Congratulations to the talented Brazilian Diego Ferreira and his squad there at Fortis MMA. Well, Diego taking on.
All right, give me 2 seconds, guys. All right, let me get the stats ready for the next fight. Of course, the next fight was supposed to be Alexa Grasso versus Claudia Gadelha. And Grasso came in, I think, 6 pounds over. So the Nevada Athletic Commission would not clear her for the fight. And also, I think there's a maximum of the difference of weight the contenders can be in 115, and it was over that amount. Ridiculous to come that over and not say something earlier to either the UFC or Claudia. Maybe could have fought a catch weight. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many other scenarios that could have happened. It just when you're missing by 6 pounds, you know well ahead of time that you're going to miss weight. You know for a fact you're missing weight. You don't accidentally miss 6 pounds. Hate to see that. Of course, if this isn't the first time you guys have joined me thoroughly against weight cutting, it's horrible for you. It's unhealthy. I used to weight cut in wrestling, and it was nowhere near what these guys do for professional fighting. And what I did made me feel horrible. So I can only imagine how these guys feel during that weight cut. I know they're athletes. I know they do it as right as you can, so they feel as good as you can the next day. But depleting yourself and killing yourself to get into a ring and try to kill someone else just doesn't make sense. Can't wait to the day where that shit is over, honestly. But for now, you have contracted to fight at a weight class. You can't show up to weigh in 6 pounds over. That's just disrespectful to the sport, disrespectful to your opponent, disrespectful to the contract. Hope Claudia finds a fight soon, because now she misses out. Maybe they gave her show money, but I'm positive they didn't give her win bonus, for not going out there. So that sucks. And then any bonus she would have maybe won from her performance. You never know. As they show the notable upcoming fights, John Jones versus Dominic Reyes. That's our next pay-per-view, February 8th. Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero, March 7th. Ngannou versus Rozenstruik on March 28th. That is going to be a banger. And a Khabib Ferguson for the 5th time, well, he's booked for the 5th time, on April 18th for UFC 249. Those are some damn good headliners coming up, and that's not including the fight nights we have to look forward to. It's going to be a good year of fights, guys. And I don't just say that because I need it to be. Turn up indeed, bro. Turn up indeed. Man, I'm about to turn up. Tyron Woodley versus Leon Edwards in England, where Tyron said he would not fight Leon Edwards. I think a win over Leon Edwards gets Tyron a rematch against Kamaru Usman or whomever owns that 170-pound strap at the time. A win over Tyron Woodley, I think, definitely gets Leon Edwards a shot at that title and a potential rematch to avenge his only UFC loss to Kamaru Usman. Really want to see how that fight goes. It's going to be a good one. It sucks to see two fighters that I enjoy, that I am a fan of, to go in there and fight each other, but it is the fight game. If I were to call that fight today, like if you were to put a gun to my head and say make your pick, I say Tyron Woodley, and that's because I think a game Tyron Woodley is the best in the world still. But we will see, because Leon Edwards, he's literally proving me wrong like his last 5 fights. I think I keep picking against him, and he keeps proving me wrong. So Leon Edwards, I think, is beneficial for you if I keep picking against you, because you keep making me look like a moron. That is going to be a really fucking good fight, guys. I cannot wait for that. I want to go now and take a look at some of the other upcoming cards we have to look forward to. Guys, I'm ready to be back in the swing of these fight games, man. They spoiled us last year every single week. I was out here enjoying these fights with you guys, and it's been, what, 4 or 5 weeks now? I have not felt complete in quite a long time. Alright, let's take a look at this Curtis Blades Junior Dos Santos card coming up. The 25th. Is that next week? Yes, indeed. Woo! We're back at it, guys. Conor McGregor said he wanted a fight season. We are in a season, man. Let's go. Bavon Lewis versus Daquan Townsend heading up those prelims. Arnold Allen versus Nick Lentz on the prelims. Sarah McMahon versus Lena Landsberg on the prelims. Brett Johns, always like seeing him in there. Herbert Burns, a alum of Dana White's Contender Series. Cannot wait for that to come back. If you guys remember, what better way to spend a Tuesday than with your boy Mike Jesse MMA for Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. Man, I cannot wait for that. Talk about a season. All right, so let's look at this main card for next week. We have Jamal Hill versus Darko Stasic. I believe Jamal Hill is a vet of the Dana White Contender Series as well. Let me check that out. I believe so. And then Darko, 13-2, looking like a goddamn tank. He did lose his last couple of bouts. He needs a win if he wants to stay in the UFC. That always makes for an exciting fight when you put two light heavyweights in there. One fighting for his job. Well, actually, both of these guys kind of fighting for their jobs, man. Jamal Hill making his debut in the UFC. You come in and you look horrible, that might be your one and only. Angela Hill, my baby girl, versus Hannah Cyphers. Let's see if Angela Hill can go on another run in the strawweight division. She is fighting Hannah Cyphers. I believe I've only seen this young lady fight once before. She lost to Macy Barber, but has won her last 2 fights in the UFC. Angela Hill definitely going to be her toughest test. At least since Macy Barber. If not altogether, I do think Angela Hill is a more all-around better fighter than Macy Barber. Jordan Espinoza versus Alex Perez. Alex Perez has been looking fantastic as of late. See, here is a pleasant surprise. I did not realize that RDA Rafael Dos Anjos is fighting Michael Chiesa on this card. I forgot all about that fight. That is a fantastic co-main event. Honestly, that could have been a main event on a fight night, and I was tuning in for sure. And then Curtis Blade versus Junior Dos Santos. I think one of those men will be a sleep within those 5 rounds. Who? Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm going to go for Curtis Blades. That man has been on a nice little tear outside of his losses to Francis Ngannou. Brian Kelleher, always an exciting fighter. 19-10, but don't let that record fool you. Fighting Ade Osborne, much younger in his fight career, has less than half the fights that Kelleher has. Kelleher almost has more wins than Osborne has fights in his whole career. Well, this is Osborne's debut. This is a tough out. And a huge stage. That says something about Osborne. I need to look this kid up, man. I know this fight wasn't originally on the main card, but there's a reason that this kid is debuting on a Conor McGregor card, and there is a reason why his fight was put on the main event. Well, Osborne, another Contender Series alum. I like it. I like it. Ooh, Ade looks to be very well-rounded. And a huge reach. This is going to be a good one. I'm excited. I'm excited. I get excited anytime I see Brian Kelleher standing opposite of any bantamweight fighter. Oh, but he is giving up a huge reach advantage. 7-inch reach advantage for Osborne. How about that jacket of your boy Bruce Buffer? Fly as always. That man is sharp as a tack out here. Oh, yeah, Kelleher. Loss against Jackson. KO'd from Lineker. A win over Barral, but that's post-use out of Barral, we'll say. Fought a lot of names in the bantamweight contenders, though. What's going on, Senpai? How you doing, man? Yes, I do. Give me 2 seconds and I got you. All right, let me get these stats for you guys. Oh, Osborne starting out on all fours and then jumping up and hitting him with a Superman punch. Holy shit. So you want to be in the UFC. Oh, Brian Kelleher with the takedown. Going for the teacher. No problem, bro. No problem. Osborne can't stay in his position. Able to get back and guard. Hitting Brian with some elbows. But the judges are not going to give you a win off your back. Though I've seen some cases where they should. Like right now, Brian's not landing much. Osborne's landing some nice elbows. But he needs to get up. Or he needs to commit to some of those submissions that he's threatening. There you go, Brian letting go a little bit, landing some nice punches. Osborne again landing some nice elbows, but he's eating punches as well. He needs to get up. Brian able to get out of that guard in the half guard. Brian trying to get a guillotine. Oh. Brian pulls guard. He taps. Oh, man. Tough, tough, tough for Osborne. Good submission for Brian Kelleher. Osborne fighting a veteran in his debut on what will most likely be the biggest card of the year. You got to be thinking there's probably 1 million people watching this card right now. You never know how much the nerves got to him. But honestly, when Brian Kelleher shot, you see Osborne trying to land punches instead of sprawling, instead of getting his hips out of there. And then instead of trying to get up, he's acting like he's throwing submissions and he's throwing elbows. He wasn't just using his fundamentals. Getting out of there, man. Creating space, creating a scramble. Create space. Man, Osborne had to tap with his feet because his arms were tangled into that submission. Damn, man. Yeah, unfortunately that was easy. Osborne, man. He really did it to himself. He really did it to himself. I think it was just nerves, excitement, angst, adrenaline. But he just made some really bad choices in there. All right, let's listen to what Brian Kelleher has to say.
First of all, Brian, congratulations on a tremendous performance. He came out with some great strikes, but you managed to secure the takedown. But that guillotine was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, man, that's one of my things, that guillotine. I look for it, you know, I'm a headhunter. if it's there, I'm going to take it. You know, he came out dangerous, but I knew once I got him to the ground, I was a lot stronger. I felt like I could overpower him and pass his guard and get a finish.
Let's take a look at the finish, because one thing that stood out to me was that once you got a hold of his neck, you forced the arm in.
That choke was so strong, so tight.
Yeah, you know what it was? I couldn't get my arm in for the arm out, but the arm in is my bigger move. That's my submission right there. So I'm more comfortable going arm in, so I'm fine with that.
Well, you have had some tremendous victories in your career and a long career as well. But you've looked better over the last few years than you ever have in the past. What do you attribute that to?
You know, my back was against the wall in this fight. I lost 2 fights in a row, and this is all I know, man.
Joe's saying you're looking better than ever. What do you attribute that to? He's basically said his back was against the wall.
I was going to make sure that
He had no choice but to win.
And I haven't got to meet Joe Rogan yet, so that was on the list, too.
Well, it's an honor to meet you, sir. Congratulations on a spectacular performance. Brian Kelleher, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a big win for Brian Kelleher tonight. Gets to shake Joe Rogan's hand as well. The 9th career win by submission for Brian Boom Kelleher.
And the second fight is a quick one. Brian Kelleher with the guillotine choke. God damn, man. Kamaru Usman in the building. Who hit Masvidal, the baddest motherfucker? I want to know how Usman feels about the crowd being louder for him. You gotta love it when the BMF champion gets more respect than the actual champion of the world. All right, let's get these stats together for the next fight. Maurice Green versus Alexei Olnik. Green is a KO machine. Olnik has gotten KO'd more than a couple times in the last few years. I think Green makes a showcase out of Olnik this fight and ends it in the second round. Showing a promo for the Curtis Blades Francis Ngannou fight. Curtis Blades is one of those people that ended Olnik recently. Let's take a look at both men's career as of late. First, let's look at Maurice Green, 8-4. Four wins by submission, 2 by knockout. He is coming off a loss. First, Pavlovic. Pavlovic has looked good as of late. Has a win over Albini. This definitely being his toughest test. It's kind of wild that they're giving him Alexei Olenek when he's coming off a loss. Even though Alexei, again, has had a rough go of it as of late as well. 57-13 compared to an 8-4 fighter. That is ridiculous. 45 wins by submission, also ridiculous for Alexei Olenek. But he was KO'd quickly by Walt Harris. He was KO'd by Overeem. He does have a win over Mark Hunt. Junior Albini lost to Curtis Blades. He does have a win over Travis Brown. Man, this guy has fought for so goddamn long. In the UFC since 2014. Classic striker versus grappling. But because this grappler, Alexei Olenek, has shown that he can be knocked out from powerful hitters, I'm going to go for the 6'7" Maurice Green in this fight. Whew! That suit kind of walked in well, though. Whew! Not the biggest Conor fan, but that suit is fly as fuck. His wife looking in fight mode, too. I just had to go back and double check. Maurice Green, 6'7". That is a humongous UFC fighter. Let's take a look at these other cards coming up soon. After the Blaze dos Santos card is John Jones, Dominic Reyes. So we're going to take a week off. And then we're back at it with Jones versus Reyes. After that, Anderson versus Blachowicz. That could very well show us the next contender for the winner of John Jones versus Dominic Reyes. Especially, of course, if John Jones wins. If Dominic Reyes wins, I would expect a immediate rematch against John Jones. That would probably be a huge fight if that happened. If anyone dethrones the king, that is John Jones. Any rematch after that would be humongous. Let's take a look at that John Jones card a little deeper, though. The co-main event, you see Valentina Shevchenko defend her 125-pound strap versus Caitlin Chukagian. You see Juan Adams returns after his last bout against Greg Hardy. He's taking on Justin Taffa. Mirsad Bektic versus Dan Age. Derek Lewis versus Alir Atifi. Why is that fight not the co-main event? I need to take another look at this card. I don't understand. Okay, the co-main event is Valentina Shevchenko. That makes sense. But for Derek Lewis versus Alir Latifi to be the first fight, you would think maybe that was the third fight, featured bout of the night type thing. Whatever, Sure they know what they're doing with those fight card placements, but Derek Lewis is your second or third biggest name on that card. Jimmy Rivera versus Marlon Vera on that prelim. Trevin Giles versus Antonio Arroyo. My boy Diego Lima returns versus Alex Moreno. Lauren Murphy versus Andrea Lee. That's a good fight. That's a really good fight. Those prelims are good. Miles Johns, another Dana White Contender Series alum, versus Mario Batista. They keep those Dana White Contender Series guys busy, man. Andre Hill returns versus Jonathan Martinez. That's a good card. That is a good card. No complaints from me on that card at all. I'll be watching from early prelims on, for sure. Maurice Green is fucking humongous. Like, we don't have these a lot of athletes like him in mixed martial arts as of yet. You're 6'7", you go to the NFL, you go to the NBA. Not a lot of guys that big trained to punch other people in the face. That Anderson Blockowitz card, co-main event, Diego Sanchez versus Michel Pereira. That is going to be a very interesting bout. Michel, you might remember doing a bunch of flips and crazy shit in the octagon before gassing after about a half a round and getting his ass whooped. And then Diego Sanchez, if you need to be introduced to Diego Sanchez, get the fuck off of my stream. You understand what I'm saying to you? Not a lot of names on this card. Lando Venata versus Yancy Medeiros to start that main card. That's a good fight. Tim Means is on this card. Always exciting to see him. John Dodson, that's my guy, versus Nathaniel Wood. That's a good fight. I like that on the prelims. Jim Miller versus Scott Holtzman. Let's see what Jim Miller has left in the tank. Ray Borg, always good to see him get a paycheck. Casey Kenny, another alum of Dana White Contender Series on that card. Nico Montano is returning against Macy Chiasson. That is going to be an interesting fight. It's going to show where Nico is at in the division. Is Macy ranked? That is a good question. Man, what a weird career for Nico Montano. Wins the inaugural 125-pound strap via the Ultimate Fighter season, and then never defends it for this reason or that. And has she fought since? Nico, 14. Macy, number 12. I have to look at Nico Montano's record. Did she come back and fight Sajara? Looking at her record now. Yeah, so she won the belt December 1st, 2017 against Roxanne Modafferi, who we just saw fight Macy Barber a little earlier. Maurice Green, 5 inches taller than Alexei Oleinik, but only a half-inch reach advantage. It's really surprising. Both guys huge reach at 80 inches, though. Not many people in the UFC with longer reaches than them. And then Montano returned in July of 2019 and lost to Pena. I do remember that fight. Jeez, man. Number 14. From the champ to number 14 in one fight. It's rough. Maurice Green's ready. Maurice Green is excited. Are you excited for this night of fights ahead of us? Come on. Come on. We're about to see two monsters go at it. I cannot fucking wait. Let's go. Let me get these stats together for y'all.
Excuse me.
Here we go. Both men race to the center of the octagon. Oh, Alexei Oleinik misses a overhand right, eats a leg kick for it. Both men are winging it. Oh, Alexei Oleinik just missed an uppercut. Eats a right hand for it. Oh, Maurice Green just misses that head kick. Alexei Oleinik has the back now. Is going to try to pull Maurice down. Maurice needs to break that grip. Unable to. Trying to switch to a Kimura to get some leverage to break that grip. Alexei Oleinik is an accomplished grappler, though. Over 40 submission wins. Maurice Green almost has this Kimura, though. Yeah, not able to secure it. In a bad spot with Alexei Oleinik in side control. This isn't good for Maurice Green. This is not where you want to be with almost 4 minutes left in the round if you're Maurice Green. Maurice Green trying to kick off the cage. Unable to really explode, though. Alexei Oleinik trying to work some type of grip. Maurice Green able to get back into full guard. Going for a triangle. Unable to really secure it. But at least has Alexei Oleinik in his guard. But Green can't just relax here. Alexei Oleinik too good on top. Maurice Green has to work his way up. He's trying to get this triangle again. Unable to. Maurice able to create a scramble, though, and work his way up. Going after that Kimura again to try to break that body lock that Alexei has. Alexei able to drag him down again. Green's having, pretty solid defense, but he's unable to really create any offense because Alexei Oleinik is just pressuring him in the grappling game. And now Alexei has Green mounted against the cage. If he's able to now rotate counterclockwise and pull Green's shoulders and back off of that cage, Green is going to be in a really bad spot. There he goes. Alexei Oleinik in mount, trying to be careful not to lose it with Green exploding off the cage. So he scoots Green off from the cage. Trying to work a choke in. Switches grips. I can't tell if it doesn't look like he has it. Looks like Green has a lot of room to breathe.
Come on, tap out.
But the closer that arm gets to his ear, the less space to breathe there will be. And Alexei Oleinik is just walking it up. Every time he walks forward, Alexei Oleinik, that grip is getting tighter. And it's getting less and less space in between the ear and the bicep of Green. That's where Alexei Oleinik wants that.
Oh my God.
Green trying to punch Alexei Oleinik off him. Alexei Oleinik eating it. Keeping his composure. But the question is, with 15 seconds left, is Alexei Oleinik going to gas his arms out? Green able to survive this. Alexei Oleinik's arms have to be heavy right now. Green did as well as you can expect with dealing with those takedowns and defending those submissions. I really thought he was done once he was mounted. But he's going to need to, it just looks like Olenek is just so ahead in the grappling game over Green. Green doesn't look like he has much for him in the to defend against the skill of Olenek. Nice elbow from Green. Oh, nice kick to the face from Green. Green just looking for his openings, but doesn't want to overcommit. At the same time, you got to be careful backing up and not get caught. Both men just throwing some wide looping hooks. Oh, nice knee by Green. Olnick's still there, though. He ate it. I think Green is tired. He blocked the punch and still flew about 3 feet. Green trying to break that grip of Olnick, but Olnick has his hands locked. That means that Green's going for a ride, and there he goes. And then Olnick just rolls right over, and boom, he's in half guard. Look for him to either pass into mount or posture up and land some ground and pound. Nice elbow from Olnick. Green trying to create some separation, but Olnick's just all over him.
Somebody's bleeding.
Olnick thought about going for that choke again, but I have to imagine his arms have to be fatigued. Olnick is just breathing so heavy, but still looking for a submission. He's not just laying on top of Green, allowing him to rest. Continuously trying to advance position. Green going for the Kimura again. He might be able to get a sweep from it. He needs to yank that and has to put the wrist behind Olnick. As long as that wrist is in front of Olnick, Olnick's fine. Green gives up on that. Olnick still staying active. In mount. Green able to explode a little bit, but not all the way.
Oh shit.
Olnick caught one of those arms while Green tried to scramble, looking for the arm bar. Maurice Green doing what he's supposed to do and stepping over Olnick. He needs to get that elbow out of there. Easier said than done. Olnick needs to think about it. He has 45 seconds left. He's already exhausted his arm strength once on a submission. Does he want to do it again? Did Green just tap?
And he pat him after. Oh my goodness.
Green definitely tapped. Man. He fought his ass off though, man. He fought that submission as long as he could. But submission attempt after submission attempt, I mean, it wears on you, especially when they're as talented and strong and big as Alexei Olnick. But a good effort from Maurice Green. He looked really good. That's a lie. He didn't look really good, but he defended really well to the best of his abilities. I'll say that. Shit, if you would have told me this long, Maurice Green would have survived this long on the ground throughout 2 rounds, this fight, you know, I wouldn't have believed you. We are 1 fight away now from Donald Cerrone versus Conor McGregor, the main event of UFC 246. Are you still with me? We ain't going nowhere, don't worry. Maurice Green, of course, not happy. But I'm sure this fight gave him plenty to think about moving forward. Alexei Olnick just paying his respects to Maurice Green. All right, let's listen to what Alexei has to say.
Were you surprised that he was able to get out of that scarf hold choke in the first round?
Yeah, I was surprised, but I think my opponent stupid. He learned my technique and defense very well. Thank you very much, all MMA fans, for my support.
You were going for that choke for so long. We were speculating as to whether or not you burned your arms out. Had you?
Yes. Each time.
Alexei telling the truth that he burnt his arms out that first submission attempt.
Because my opponent prepared for this, for that, and they don't want to wrestle with me. What I do, everything what I can.
Well,
thank you.
You were able to gut that out, but then you were able to get the armbar on the second round. Take a look at it on the big screen.
He said everyone prepares, you know, they know what I'm looking for, so they don't want to wrestle with me, but he makes it happen.
Beautiful way. You went belly down. You caught a hold of it here, and instead of leaning back, you went belly down. Is that your preferred way of doing that?
Yeah. Look as good. You agree? Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Congratulations, sir, on a very hard-fought victory.
I want to say thank you to my family, my lovely wife, Tatiana. Thank you very much, my
Alexei Olnick just shouting out some family, trainers, etc.
Paul, Giovanni, and all coaches, American Top Team. Thank you very much.
Thank his team, American Top Team.
Thank you all. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Donald.
Alexei Olnick, ladies and gentlemen.
A man who has now finished his last 17 professional winners.
We got Ludacris in the building. Now it's an event. Chong is out here. All right, next we have the co-main event. Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington. Let's take a look at these two ladies' career. I believe Holly Holm is 2-4 in her last 6. Let's take a look at those. She lost to Amanda Nunes via KO back in July. She beat Megan Anderson, which was a good win against a solid 145-pound contender. She lost but took Cyborg to the distance, which was very impressive. She did beat Beth Correa, which, you know, say what you want about that one, back in 2017. Lost to Jermaine Duranamy. Lost to Shevchenko. Lost to Miesha Tate, but she was winning up until that 5th round, and then got choked out with about a minute and a half left. That was wild. And then, of course, before that was her run and defeat, her run to fight Ronda Rousey, and then her victory over Ronda Rousey. So since then, her winning, beating Ronda Rousey for the championship in 2015. We see 3 losses in a row against either standing or former champions. So that's Tate, Shevchenko, Duranamy. Then she had a win against Beth Correa, a loss against a former champion in Cyborg, a win versus Megan Anderson, and a loss to the champion Amanda Nunes. I say that to say, even though she has lost more than she has won since beating Ronda Rousey, she's taken no easy fights. And any fights that you can say were easy, she won them. She did what she was supposed to do. She got the W. She hasn't looked horrible in any of her losses really either, say for the Amanda Nunes knockout. But other than that, she was looking competitive against Duranamy. Some people had her actually winning. She did not look horrible against Shevchenko. Took her to distance. Again, she was beating Miesha Tate. Holly Holm, despite her recent record, is always game and is always world class. And I don't think a non-champion can beat Holly Holm, so I am picking Holly Holm to win this fight. Raquel Pennington, tough as nails. Sometimes too tough. Let's see, she got back in the winning column against Aldana. Not a huge victory, but, you know, it is a victory back in July of 2019, decision win. She lost to Duranamy before that in 2018, and then before that she lost in that title fight against Amanda Nunes, KO, where she took a beating against Amanda Nunes for 5 rounds until they just ended it. She does have a win over Miesha Tate. That's impressive. She also has a win over Beth Correa. Win over Jessica Andrade, the former 115-pound champion. But again, you heard what I said, the former 115-pound champion. Pennington is a 135er. And of course, the last time these two ladies fought, it was a split decision win for Holly Holm. A fight to where Pennington looks like she was coming in to her own in that last round. So I do think there's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be a close fight. It's always interesting to see rematches, especially at the highest level of MMA. Each fighter knows the other one better. each fighter knows what to look for from the other one, but at the same time, that can work as a disadvantage. Maybe you're worried about something that worked a lot against you, so they use that to set you up for some traps, some tricks, etc. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a chess match, I think. I do believe it's going to be all 3 rounds. Mystic is back. What is going on, my friend? Thank you for stopping by, as always. Who you feeling tonight? Who you got tonight? I've gone back and forth on this main event at least a half a dozen times. Let me get these stats ready for the next fight. As they're showing you the promo for Jon Jones, Dominic Reyes. When this finishes, I really wish they would just gift us with just bringing out the next contenders. I get it. They got time slots, they got ads, they got promos, etc. But we're here to see some goddamn fights. $65 for this pay-per-view. Come on. And a little tip for you guys. For those who buy the pay-per-view, if you have friends that also buy pay-per-view, use it. Use one person. Use it on your computer. The other person use it on your TV app or a video game app or something like that. Boom, split the cost. You both got the pay-per-view for one buy. Just use the same ESPN Plus account. You're welcome for that life hack. Oh, Reyes is definitely getting knocked out. Yeah, that's happening. Jon Jones isn't losing anytime soon at light heavyweight. For everyone who would like to see him lose, which to be honest with you, I am one of those people, you're going to have to wait for him to go to heavyweight, and you're going to have to wait for him to fight a top 5 heavyweight fighter. He might still win that fight, though. Don't think Jon Jones going to heavyweight equals Jon Jones' loss. He can beat a lot of guys up there, if not all of them. Maybe all of them. You never know. I want to see what Rumble Johnson is going to do. Like, I think people forget that he is back in MMA, back in the UFC, back in the USADA testing pool. Woo! A heavyweight Rumble Johnson is going to be a sight to see. I'm excited about that. Cannot wait. But him versus Jon Jones was going to be really exciting when it was announced light heavyweight. Why wouldn't it be exciting at heavyweight? And honestly, with the way the division is now, if Rumble wanted to cut, if he cut down to 205, he may get an immediate title shot. I mean, who else are we barking at to get a shot at Jon Jones that we legit think can win? Do I think Rumble can win? Probably not. Probably not. But it's more exciting than some of these other matchups. I think Dominic Reyes is a talent, but I don't think he has a prayer against Jon Jones. So you can only get so excited about that fight. The only question in that fight for me is Jon Jones going to fight a well-rounded, smart fight and just go out for a victory? Or is he going to go out there and try to prove a point? Or is he going to go out there and try to embarrass him? You know, you never know. When I say prove a point, I mean by trying to play towards Dominic's strengths, as we've seen him do before to other fighters. As in, you're a wrestler, so I'm going to wrestle you. You're a grappler, so let's grapple. You're a striker, so I'm going to just stand and bang with you. It's like he's just trying to create different challenges for himself. Showing highlights from the last fight of Pennington and Holly Holm. Raquel did drop her a couple times. Ooh, later in February, after that Anderson versus Jan Blachowicz card, you have Paul Felder versus Dan Hooker. That is a hell of a main event. And I'm loving that 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time main card start time. That means that I get to watch some MMA and still have a whole Saturday night to myself. What more can you fucking ask for? Who's on that co-main? Jimmy Crute. Where's this at? This is Auckland. Okay. I see Jimmy Crute in the co-main event. I had to figure out where the hell that card was taking place. Carolina's on that card. Ben Sassoli versus Rogério de Lima. It's a regional card. A lot of guys from the area. Brad Riddle. Ooh, Emil Meek making his return in the prelims versus Jake Matthews. Been a while since we've seen Emil Meek. Not the deepest card. Definitely a good main event. Definitely going to be a good card for Auckland. Joseph Benavidez versus Figueiredo. I believe that is for the vacant flyweight title, if I'm not mistaken. That February 29th. Felicia Spencer versus Zara Ferran in the co-main event. Nice to see a 145-pound bout, not including Amanda Nunes or Cyborg. Ooh, Holly Holm ready. She looks ready. She forgot she even had the hoodie on. Ian Cutelaba versus Magomed Ankalaev. Megan Anderson on that card. All right, 245-pound bouts. Neither for the championship on the same card. That's got to be the first time that's ever happened. I like it. Mike Davis making his return. Violent Bob Ross on the prelims. Marcin Tybura. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. I like it. I like it. March 7th. Zhang Wei Li versus Joanna Champion. What was supposed to be Robert Whitaker versus Jared Cannonier in the co-main event. Holly is hype right now. Do you feel that energy? Holly cannot wait to punch Raquel in her face. And she looks shredded. Jeez. Robert Whittaker pulling out of yet another fight, man. We're going to take a look in the upcoming weeks at the career of Robert Whittaker and how he's been mauled by injuries these last 2 or 3 years. It's nuts. But the rumor is Darren Till versus Jared Cannonier, and that is going to be an amazing fight, man. That's going to be a scary fight. Jared Cannonier has looked like a savage since coming down to 185, and Darren Till has always looked like a savage at any weight class. So I cannot wait to see that bout. Alex Oliveira versus Max Griffin, good fight. Neil Magny coming back from his USADA suspension versus Li Jinglang. I think you're setting him up with a little bit of a stylistic matchup advantage in that fight for Neil Magny. Rachel Pennington, 10-8, not the best record in the world, but she is scrappy. She does have some notable wins. She has fought for a title. At 135, you don't need much at right now. There's not a lot of names. There's not a lot of contenders. You string together a couple wins, and you earn that shot. Not that a shot is something most of these young ladies should look forward to, seeing as though Amanda Nunes has the crown of the GOAT right now and both belts for 135 and 145. March 14th, Kevin Lee versus Oliveira. If you've been with me since the beginning of this stream, I've already shouted Kevin Lee out once. I'll do it again. This man is taking on all contenders. Say anyone trying to get into the top 10, see me. I love it, man. Charles Oliveira, of course, riding a 6-fight win streak. I believe he finished all 6 of those people, too. Damian Maia, Gilbert Burns, co-main event. Shoe Faces on the card. Paige Van Zandt, last fight of her contract versus Amanda Ribas. Johnny Walker versus Nikita Krylov. That's going to be a good fight. Whew. It's going to be a good card. Here we go, guys. Round 1. Boom. There you go, brother. Amanda Nunes, Holly Holm looks like the longer fighter, though the reach isn't that much different. But Holly just looks so much bigger than Raquel. Those teep kicks to the knee that Holly Holm and her whole team are known for. John Jones started that little trend, at least on the highest level. Holly Holm going for another one of those teep kicks, just misses though. Pennington just misses a leg kick of her own. Holly just probing with that jab, not committing to it. Another teep kick. Nice jab from Holly. Holly has Raquel very gun shy right now. Raquel doesn't want to come into those teep kicks and step into it, hurt her leg. She doesn't want to come into that jab and then eat that cross, which she inevitably will. Oh, nice right hand from Raquel. Holly looking for a takedown now. She has the body lock. Raquel needs to fight for her underhook. She does. They're in a 50-50 position right now against the fence. Holly's either going to use this for striking or try to pummel under, to have double underhooks and lock her hands. use that body lock to go into a takedown. No problem for the link. Anytime, man. Sorry to say, but I'm a huge Cody Anderson fan. I think he has the best chance against John Jones in the whole division. Very possible, man. Very possible. He has Cody Anderson has great wrestling, fantastic wrestling. Cody Anderson does have power in his hands as well. We haven't seen John Jones wrestle in a long time, but John Jones is a great wrestler. He took down Daniel Cormier, and not a lot of people are able to do that. He was also able to defend the takedowns of Daniel Cormier. Another thing that many can't do. Though I do like Cody Anderson, another guy who has trained out of Jersey. Not sure if he still trains out of Jersey or not. But I do not like his chances against John Jones, for being honest. I would watch that fight, though, and I do think that Cody Anderson deserves that title shot to prove me wrong. He does deserve that opportunity to prove me wrong, 100%. Oh, nice elbow from Holly. Holly just looks to be the stronger of the two in these grappling exchanges against the cage. You see, Raquel wants to create separation, but Holly's just all up on her. You hear Joe Rogan said Holly Holm is very heavily muscled. Just strong, man. She's an ox. Look, Raquel able to turn Holly, and Holly, boom, turns her right back around. Raquel able to spin Holly around on the cage. Let's see how long. Holly fights for that underhook. Raquel trying to get the takedown. Holly has a guillotine, but there's not enough time to finish that round over. My bad about the stats, guys. Y'all know I get into these fights. Sometimes I forget to do my job. I got you. See Holly Holm more than doubling the strikes of Raquel Pennington. Holly Holm, red corner. Raquel stats in the blue. Here we go, round two of Holly Holm versus Raquel Pennington. There we go, Pennington blitzing in again. Nice leg kick from Holly. Raquel tries to return with one of her own. Holly Holm just misses that head kick, that front head kick. Raquel trying to cut off the cage. Oh, nice body shot from Holly, and then a nice knee to the body from Raquel. Holly Holm with Raquel pushed up against the fence now.
The thing which what I believe Pennington needs to do is create different types of angles, like almost like if you're playing football and you're trying to go from side to side, shifting side to side. You have to get off balance to get off
Raquel just looks outstrength from Holly against the cage.
especially with a counter fighter. I think they need to be talking about feints and changing angles and get her up against the cage. This type of fighting, this type of style for Pennington is not good for her. She's a power puncher and she's got to wear her arms down.
So what kind of style, what kind of technique do you think she should use to get away from that front leg side?
Lateral motion. When you see Holly in that karate stance, she is chopping with the leg because she's got the wide stance, trying to come down on the knee. Now, if you switch,
Guys, see some action from one of these girls, though. You know what I mean?
side to side, get them off balance once they start going.
Holly has her pushed up against the cage, but she's not doing any damage. Landing these little shots, it's not doing anything. Raquel now able to spin Holly around, but there you go. Holly just so much stronger than Raquel. Spins her right back.
This woman is very strong. And you've seen this with Holly's focus on grappling over the last couple
Knee to the thigh from Holly.
some big improvements in her clinch work. And
Holly just able to shut Raquel down just with her strength and pressure.
like right here,
Anytime Raquel is able to spin Holly around, Holly just digs in that underhook, connects it with her overhook, and spins her right back. When Raquel has Holly against the cage, she needs to just separate.
her most effective techniques, which are her hands. She's got to figure out a way to disengage and how to land strikes with her hands. Holly has an advantage with the kicks, and she seems to have a big advantage with the clinch work.
The new movie, The Gentleman, is dictators Friday.
I really didn't think that the strength difference was going to be this prevalent. Oh, knees to the body from Raquel. Oh, I think she hurt her. Holly separates. Those knees to the body definitely hurt Holly, though. Raquel needs to attack the body. And Holly shoots for a takedown, unable to get it, but pushes Raquel right back up against the cage. More of the same.
And for Pennington, this has got to be incredibly frustrating, right? This fight has been stuck in her craw all these years, thinking about that one fight that really changed the course of her career, put Holly in a position to fight Ronda Rousey for the title, and it could have been Pennington.
Another knee to the body. Man, the most substantial, most powerful, most damaging strikes this whole round, though, were those knees to the body from Raquel. Holly's pushing Raquel against the cage, so she's controlling, but she's not landing anything. Oh, that knee to the body again from Raquel.
I don't think you should ever stand someone out, and I don't think you should ever separate. I think if the person wants to get up, they should figure out a way to get up. If you want to get out of this position, well, just spin her around and disengage. You got to. This is what fighting is all about. She doesn't want to be here. Holly is making her fight like this. So there's a nice
Muay Thai clinch, another knee to the body from Raquel.
separation.
Kick to the body from Holly. Takedown attempt from Pennington. Oh, lands some nice shots. I don't know. Holly Holm controlled a lot of that round, but those, if I was going to score this round, I would have scored that round for Raquel. I know Holly controlled 85% of the action, but all the damage came from those body shots from Raquel. But Raquel very well could be down 2 rounds. It's close. Raquel's team telling her to go for the finish, though. I would tell her to do the same because it's very possible she needs it. She needs to stay off that cage. I know she's not able to spin her around and impress her like Holly's pressing her and like keep her pinned there. But when you spin around, as soon as that happens, you need to separate. You need to figure some way to separate, man.
At least even in Holly's corner, Greg had, hey, let's go for this. Let's try this. You know it. The high crotch is thrown down. But, Raquel just telling your opponent that, you got to get a finish. Round 3 is brought to you by
Paul Felder having some less than flattering criticism of Raquel's corner. And this wouldn't be the first time that her corner has been criticized. Remember that Amanda Nunes fight? That fight, they should have thrown in the towel. I believe Raquel even told them that she was, like, done. And they said, no, keep going. Oh, Raquel, nice knee to the body from Holly. That broke that clinch.
Well, right after tonight's main event, don't miss a recap of all the action from Vegas on the UFC 246 post show. It's on ESPN Plus. Chael Sonnen and Michael Bisping join me. We break it all down right after the main event live.
Raquel looks like she wants to stalk Holly, but she's afraid to take that last step. It's a jab when she tries to that time. Nice right hand from Raquel. Partially blocked, but nice right hand. Ooh, nice head kick from Holly. She blitzed in and created a grappling exchange, which doesn't make sense. Because now Holly's going to go for an underhook. She gets it. Now wait for her to spin Raquel around. There you go. I don't get that decision, Raquel. I don't understand that decision.
But it seems almost as she anticipated fighting the same person that she fought way back when they first met each other. And Holly just really came with an excellent strategy from victory. And clearly improved clinch skills.
Pennington's got great conditioning. Let's see if she can let it fly here late. Yes, she's got it. Just under 3 minutes to finish this.
Ooh, just misses that question mark kick.
She's got great submission victories. She's definitely tough and she's got great hands, but she doesn't have that kind of one-punch.
Nice teep kick from Holly.
She's got a lot of speed and accuracy.
Raquel still trying to... Ooh, nice uppercut from Holly. Raquel just can't catch her. Every time she tries to come in, she just eats some hands. Or those teep kicks. Oh, Raquel almost gets Holly down. But Holly right back up. Now back in the same position they've been for a large portion of this bout. Pushed up against the cage. Holly with the underhook on the right side, just pushing into Raquel, landing some little chippy shots, threatening a takedown, but never going for it. Oh, she tried to get a little trip there. Unable to do so. Raquel keeps her balance. All right, the ref broke him up. Raquel keeps creating these clinching exchanges, and she's losing them every time. I don't get it. Trying to work the knees, but Holly Holm backs out. Joe Rogan just said the same thing. Said Raquel keeps initiating these clinches. Doesn't make sense. Nice knee to the face from Raquel. Holly Holm looked great from start to finish. 100% her fight. Most likely 30-27, possibly 29-28, but pretty sure it's 30-27. Good fight from Holly Holm. Not the most exciting fight in the world. I didn't think this was going to be the most exciting fight in the world anyway. But a good win for Holly Holm. Bad fight for Raquel Pennington. I say bad fight for Raquel Pennington because she was losing in the clinch and then creating clinch exchanges. That doesn't make any sense. You were losing every single clinch battle that you guys had. Why would you even try to initiate it? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Yeah, 129-28. Like I said, the second round was a little closer than they were giving it credit for. Raquel landed the harder shots, especially those knees to the body. Holly Holm just pressed her against the cage all second round. Didn't land anything. But yeah, 30-27 I can't argue with either. She did control all 3 rounds. Let's listen to what Holly has to say.
This is a rematch of your UFC debut, which was a split decision victory for you. Tell us, what was your thoughts going into this fight, and was the strategy to clinch, was that something that you had from the get-go?
You know what? I was just ready for whatever, and I really do wish I would have struck more with her, so I apologize I didn't, showcase any of that, but I have, she's tough. You never know where she's going to take the fight. She'll stand and bang, she'll be on the clinch, she goes for a takedown, she goes and scrambles on the ground, so I wish I would have got more. I was trying to just strike more in the clinch and throw some elbows and stuff I've been working on.
Holly Holm saying she wished she struck more, but the fight kind of just went where it went, which was the clinch for most of the fight.
You seemed like you were dominating in that position. Was that why you just stuck with it?
In the first round, I wasn't thinking you'd go there, and I got there, I thought, well, this is working. And the whole time I was just thinking, well, I need to get better strikes in here, which I didn't get a lot of them off. There's some, but I didn't really have an idea. I just figured let's just go where the fight's going, and I wanted to do more in those positions. But yes, when something's working,
Holly again saying, hey, it was working and made sense for me to fight there, which I totally understand. If you have a position you're just dominating in, why not keep doing it?
I really do feel like I can be champ again, and that's what I want to do. I want to show you guys what
Joe Rogan asking her what's next for her. She's saying she wants to be champion.
This training camp has been, lots of stuff in my life has been going on, but it was having my team there just working with me the whole way through, and so I'm glad to walk out here with the win.
Well, enjoy your victory. Congratulations. Holly Holm, ladies and gentlemen.
I just wanted to say one thing.
An emotional moment and win for the
Holly Holm said she had one more thing to say. But of course it is already midnight and the main event has not started. Joe Rogan said we can't do it. He said, I'm sorry I can't do it. Maybe next time, Holly Holm. Dave Batista in the building. Caressa Shields.
She has become a UFC fan over the years, and there is Tyson Fury.
And Tyson Fury. Some boxing greats right there.
In a rematch with Deontay Wilder, they fought to a draw back in December of 2018. Good to have Tyson Fury with us here live for UFC 246. Also
Of course, the Shield's been posturing for a fight against Amanda Nunes. Originally against Cyborg. Cyborg wanted that fight, but of course Cyborg no longer in the UFC. Of course, the Shields knows where the money is.
Violence. I want to check out some violence, and I want to see maybe I got a vested interest in this.
Yeah, I would believe so. Before we get into it, I'd like to face this.
Why is Jorge Masvidal in a Versace robe?
Start violence.
There is no way.
I put my money on Conor in the first 2 rounds, but Cowboy, once he gets in his rhythm, amazing fighter, can wrestle, can strike, can end the fight at any time.
Now we know there's been a lot of talk about you potentially facing Conor McGregor. Besides all that surrounds the Conor McGregor fight, why does that matchup interest you, Jorge?
The money.
How do you believe a matchup between you two would go?
Say it again.
How do you believe a matchup between you two would go?
My hand gets raised rather fast.
Fair enough. Any prediction there?
In a violent way.
And you know, the champ, Kamaru Usman, is sitting not too far from us right now. But Kamaru Usman, why would you rather fight Conor than Kamaru?
Jorge hit Kamaru with the who.
Potatoes and tomatoes. The money was the same. I'd fight Usman because I dislike him. But since it's not, in reality, I gotta beat up Conor to get the money. Then I'll beat Usman's ass.
Any prediction on how this main event goes down in just a few minutes?
Violence.
He's ready for some violence. I guess everybody else here is too.
Jorge Masvidal, always a good interview. I guess that's why Holly Holm couldn't talk after her win. Because they had to see what the baddest motherfucker on the planet had to say. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Absolutely insane in here tonight as we inch closer to the first.
All right, let me get these stats ready. For the main event, Conor McGregor versus Cowboy Cerrone. Just make sure everything's still up and running, y'all. All right, boom. Let's get these stats right. What is this show they are advertising? Hunters on Amazon. That looked good. I'm gonna have to watch that. God damn it, they got me. It has been a long time, over a year, since we've seen the Notorious. Yes, sir, it is about to go down, bro. It is about to go down. I cannot fucking wait. Been waiting for this fight for years. Been excited about it since it has been announced. I think it is a great matchup stylistically. I think it is a great matchup psychologically. I really want to see if Cowboy is going to come out here and just stand and bang because that's what the people want to see, or if Donald Cerrone is going to be his unpredictable self and mix it up with wild, crazy stand-up and pure and unadulterated Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's what I want to see. I want to see the all-around Donald Cerrone. I want to see the Donald Cerrone that can either knock you out or take your arm home with him. If he tries to play into any type of, hey, me and Conor are friends and we have a bro code, he's going to wind up on his back. He's going to wind up asleep. I don't want to see that. I'm not saying that Donald Cerrone can't knock out Conor McGregor, because he fucking can. But I don't want to see him with the mindset of anything else other than I'm going to do what I got to do, what I need to do, and what I can do to win. Not, I'm going to try to win via this certain circumstances. That's not a Donald Cerrone that I want to see against Conor McGregor. A man who, when tuned in, has not only a vicious left hand, but some of the best spacing, some of the best timing you will see in the octagon today. We saw him knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, not with some crazy looping hook, not with some wild uppercut, but with a cross, just well timed. Jose's coming forward. I'll take a half step forward so that I'm there first. Boom, you are on the end of my left hand. We saw a Conor McGregor dismantle one of the most well-rounded UFC champions that we've seen in 155-pound division in Eddie Alvarez. And if you think I am overstating Eddie Alvarez, go back and watch the tape on Eddie Alvarez in Bellator and all the other organizations that he was in. And shit, look at his run in the UFC. It's nothing to overlook. He is one of the greats. And look what Conor McGregor did to him. Made him look silly in New York, hours away from his own backyard of Philadelphia. Man, if Cowboy Cerrone comes in and not trying to use 100% of his tools against that man, it's going to be a long, or maybe a short night, I should say, for Donald Cerrone. Now, Conor McGregor, is he dialed in? He's been talking a good game. He's been saying all the right things. His coaches have said all the right things. But what the fuck does that really mean, guys? Let's be honest. Conor McGregor isn't going to come in here and say, hey, I've been half-assing it. Let's see how I do against the Cowboy, because that doesn't sell pay-per-views. He didn't say that when he was fighting Khabib, right? He said he was going to whip Khabib's ass. He was working for it, etc., etc., etc. And then come to find out, he says now that he wasn't training properly, that he was drinking regularly during his fight camp, that he would go to fight camp, have a all-out fight with his training partners, and then head back to party and drink for a couple days until he came back to practice and did the same thing again. So we have no idea if he's telling the truth. We have no idea which Conor we are going to see. But if it is not Conor at his best, then he is in for a rude awakening against, you can call him a journeyman. I'm going to call him an elder statesman in Donald Cerrone. The most fights, the most wins, the most finishes in Zuffa. That's UFC, WEC combined history. Guys, do not take this man, Cowboy Cerrone, lightly. All the questions have been for Conor, and I get it. All the talk has been about Conor, and I get it. When we're talking about stories, when we're talking about celebrities, when we're talking about fame, Conor McGregor. When we're talking about being an all-around mixed martial artist and a motherfucking badass of the sport, put some respect on that man, Donald Cerrone's name. You understand what I'm saying to you? Let's look at these guys' last few fights before we get into the main event. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm hearing that there's trouble with the stream. But as you know, Mike Jesse MMA's got you, baby. Give me a minute, and I will find you an alternate. If you guys are experiencing trouble with that stream, let me know. Closed mouths do not get fed. Are you guys having fun tonight? I'm having a fucking ball if you can't tell. There's an alternate for you guys. Enjoy. There we go on Twitch. Enjoy. YouTube, boom, enjoy, my friends. Let me know how that works for y'all. Alright, as I said, we are going to dig into their last few fights. Donald Cerrone first. Justin Gaethje, he got knocked out. Justin Gaethje knocked out a lot of people. Let's move on. Tony Ferguson. So I had that bout 1-1 going into that third round. I don't remember if it was a main event or not, so I don't know if there were 3 rounds to go. I believe there was only 1 round to go, but don't quote me on that one, guys. But that was a fantastic fucking fight, and if not for Donald Cerrone trying to blow his nose when it was swollen, his eye wouldn't have swelled shut like that. It wasn't that Tony Ferguson closed his eye with strikes. I mean, he did hurt it, but when Donald Cerrone blew his nose, that air, you just saw it instantly fill up behind his eye. And then that was the end of the fight. TKO officially, but it was doctor stoppage. Donald Cerrone blew his nose. The eye swelled shut. He couldn't see out one of his eyes. It is what it is, but he was looking very competitive against the next title contender in Tony Ferguson, and maybe the best lightweight in the world in Tony Ferguson. We find that out April. Al Iaquinta, a tough out for anybody in the top 555, and Donald Cerrone made him look silly. Like, let's be real. Donald Cerrone looked fan-fucking-tastic against raging Al Iaquinta. Way better than I imagined him looking. Also, Alex the Great Hernandez. Cerrone made him look silly. Alex was talking a whole bunch of shit leading up to it. Thought he was the young gun going to dethrone the old guy. We've seen this story before. We didn't see it with Donald Cerrone. But, of course, Donald Cerrone always comes back. And he made Anthony Hernandez regret all of his words. I'm sorry, that's Alex Hernandez. Donald Cerrone versus Perry. Of course, they used to train together. They used to be under the same team. If you listen to Cowboy, the team chose to back Perry over him. So Donald Cerrone left the team, trains on his own on the BMF Ranch. He, of course, has coaches, fighters, etc. come there, but it's essentially his own gym. But he took Mike Perry's arm home with him because for some reason Mike Perry went for a takedown. Why? The world may never know. Tough loss to Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, again, I picked against Leon Edwards for that one. Leon Edwards looked fantastic. This is at 170. Put Yancy Medeiros on skates at 170. Lost against Darren Till. Had a great fight against Lawler. Lost against Miles Vidal, but beat Brown before that. Beat Rick Story before that. Guys, we're naming all these fights, and we're only at 2016. Beat Cote. Beat Cowboy Oliveira. Like, come on. Donald Cerrone has some impressive-ass wins. Go deeper in his career, you say. Well, I would love to. He got ended by body strikes against RDA. But that was a few years ago. It's 5 years ago now. 4 years plus, December of 2015. He has been susceptible to body shots in the past. Went over Benson Henderson. Went over Miles Jury. Of course, kind of not known for his body shots. Went over Eddie Alvarez. Come on. Versus Miller. Went over Barboza. Donald Cerrone has just beat a who's who over the last decade. You could talk about holes. You could talk about downsides. You could talk about losing streaks. You can't keep Cowboy Cerrone down. He always comes back and looks like he never left, man. Fantastic. Here goes the Cowboy walkout. We are seconds. I'm exaggerating a little bit. We are minutes away from seeing Donald Cerrone versus Conor McGregor take place. Cowboy looks relaxed. His team looks focused. He looks ready. I like it. And here we go. That's a hell of a jump in the crowd when Cowboy walked out. And there's little Cowboy. No longer has those headphones. Joe Rogan just said this is red panty night. Sorry guys, I'm just looking for alternate link just in case it boots you off. No, I'm getting silent. I am excited. We are very close. Just trying to make sure y'all are taken care of, that's all. Give me 2 seconds. All right, guys, now we're going to take a look at Conor McGregor's career in the UFC. You all know what happened his last time out, October 6, 2018, as the crowd goes wild when they show Conor McGregor, who is looking swole at 170. I'll give him that. Khabib Nurmagomedov submits him in round 4 of a 5-round fight. All the shenanigans before and after were what they were. But Conor McGregor looked decent, looked competitive, and if you are to believe him, he looked that way without a real training camp. Will he be able to get a win tonight? And will that earn him a rematch against Khabib? And will he look any different? I don't think he can beat Khabib. I think he may look a little better, dialed in and focused in, if he wasn't before. Before that, you have to go all the way back to 2016 for his last fight in the UFC. And that fight was a victory over then 155-pound champ Eddie Alvarez. Before that was his 2 bouts with Diaz that he split, winning one by decision, losing the other one by rear naked choke, 2nd round. Win over Aldo before that, and then of course his run at 145 pounds. That was capped off by the 14-second knockout of Aldo. But before that, he knocked out Chad Mendes on a late notice fight. He knocked out Dan Seaver. He ended Dustin Poirier. He took out Diego Brandao, who was a savage contender back then. He beat the young Max Holloway. And he beat Brimich in his debut into the UFC. I mean, his resume has really aged well. When I say aged well, these names on his resume, Max Holloway is was nowhere near the fighter in 2013 that he is now in 2020. I'll tell you that. 7 years, such a young guy. He was a kid at that time. But how good does that look on his resume now? Same with Poirier. How good does that look on his resume? Chad Mendes, Jose Aldo, who's about to fight for a belt at 135 pounds. Nate Diaz, Eddie Alvarez, But again, that loss to Nurmagomedov. And then, of course, you all know about the fight against Floyd Mayweather. Where that all comes out to is Conor McGregor not tasting victory since 2016. It is 2020 officially, guys. Let's see if Conor McGregor can win a bout in this decade.
This one? We didn't fight yet today.
All right. Get these stats right for y'all. Are you fucking excited? Let's go! Guys, I don't know if y'all can see it, but your boy got goosebumps. I cannot fucking wait. Let's listen to what Bruce Buffer has to say. I'm gonna turn this up real quick. Herb Dean is the referee. Let's hope we have the good version of Herb Dean tonight. Donald looks ready. Conor's all over the octagon, in the middle, on the side. It's time, y'all, according to Bruce Buffer. It's fucking time. Let's go. Donald looks dialed in. Guys, apologies that I keep hitting the camera and I keep shaking. My bad. But I can't help myself. I can't stand still. I don't know what to do with my hands. No way Bruce Buffer has a voice after tonight. Conor in the center of the octagon. Of course, he's right back where he loves to be. Woo! Here we go. Donald ready. Has Conor shown Cowboy too much respect? Will Cowboy be unfocused by that? Will Conor feel weird not having venom towards his opponent? We're about to find out the answers to all those questions right now. Conor is striking Cowboy with his shoulder. That was weird. Oh, kick from Conor! Hey, no way! They didn't even go anywhere!
Oh my goodness.
This fight is almost over. Guys. Cowboy's just covering up. He doesn't want anymore. Conor started that finish via shoulder strikes. I need to see the replay. Wow. God, I don't even know what the fuck just happened. What just happened?
What round is it?
He feeds off pressure. He fights better off pressure than anyone I've ever seen. I mean, he rises to the occasion as good as anybody.
I have to see this replay. Can they show the replay, please?
He was just chomping at the bit. Yes. He's like, please give me my red panties now. Please.
This fight replay is brought to you by Nemiroff.
I'm disappointed.
So here it is.
All right, so they go out.
Left hand and misses. Now watch the clinch.
Conor ducks. Cowboy ducks.
Boom.
They clinch.
Again. Sets it up. Boom. Again.
Oh, that shoulder strike definitely hurt his nose.
And then another.
Is that legal?
I mean, he's hitting him with the collarbone. He's hitting him with his shoulder.
And then that kick to the face.
Dog's in big, big trouble.
Wow, man.
See it again. Puts him right on the jaw.
Wow.
Beautiful kick there from Conor McGregor.
This phenomenal performance.
Everybody worried about that left hand, and he comes out and does that.
And just beats him down here.
That was fucking nuts. that was insane.
His credit, Herb Dean gave Cerrone every chance he could. He absolutely did. I like that. He knows how tough Cowboy is, and
Well, that escalated quickly. Yeah, that it did, bro. That it did. Wow, man. Wow. I mean, I want to say I'm upset that it's over that quick because I wanted to enjoy this shit with you guys. But I enjoyed the fuck out of that just now. How wild was that? You've never seen that before. That's why we watch this shit. Conor could fight tomorrow. Conor could fight tomorrow. He made it look easy. He's definitely back. He's definitely back. Holy shit.
Clean and decisive. A first round as you could ever get. You heard him.
That was so strange.
Is this something that you worked on?
Yeah, I'll change levels with that and come up into it. So it's a good shot.
Conor is so pleased with himself right now.
How good does it feel to be back?
Very good, Joe. You know, I made history here tonight. I set another record. I'm the first fighter in UFC history to secure knockout victories at featherweight, at lightweight, and now at welterweight across 3 weight divisions. So I'm very, very proud of that. Donald holds the record for most head kick knockouts. The amount of records that man has, but one of the records he holds most head kick knockouts.
Listen to what Conor has to say.
So I'm very, very happy, very proud tonight. The team has been phenomenal. The room has been phenomenal. The people have been phenomenal. Thank you all for the support. I appreciate it greatly.
Conor saying the right things, man.
And enjoy your handiwork. This beautiful.
Can't hail him right now.
Just absolutely perfect. Right on the jaw here. This is the beginning. This is the beginning for the very first part of the
I knew he wasn't expecting that little level change. Little level bang, a nice shot. He wasn't expecting that, and when we separated, I saw the blood in his eye. And there's the clap into the teeth.
Those shoulders messed him up.
So, like I said, who's going up and down divisions and stopping people like that with knockout victories? You know what I mean? I give it a technical knockout, alright. But, you know what I mean? I'm very proud of that accomplishment. The UFC, they can strip fighters and give the other fighters make-believe belts in order to replicate my champion status. But they can't give knockout victories across multiple weight divisions. So there you go again. Etch my name in history one more time. For the Irish people, from the
Connor has this crowd electric right now. I mean, shit, I feel it on the TV.
Now, Connor, big question now.
What happened, Swerve? That's a big question now. We just released the 1.75 Leah. So we've got the 375, we've got the 750, we've got the 1 Leah, and then we've got the big boss, the 175.
He just announced that they now have the handle size of Proper 12 whiskey.
Are you going to stay at welterweight, and who would you like to fight next?
You know, I like this weight division. I feel really good.
Oh, man.
Up and down. God willing, I came out of here unscathed. I'm in shape. I don't believe I'm there yet, though. You know, I still got work to do to get back to where I was. So I'm going to party till I celebrate, spend time with my family, and then get back in the gym and train. And anyone who is melody fools can get it. Even though I feel the desk, all of them, every single one in the gym, does not matter. We're back and I'm ready.
Congratulations, sir, on a spectacular return. It was an honor to call your fight. Conor McGregor!
And what an embrace there
Wow.
with D. Devlin.
What a great fight.
Cowboy.
Listen to what Cowboy has to say.
Your thoughts on what happened?
Oh man, he got me with his elbows right away, like distorted the shit out of me, then hit kicked me. What a great game plan he had, man. It was awesome.
Of course, Cowboy's grandma just came in.
How much did he surprise you with those shoulder strikes in the clinch, and how much did they affect you?
Oh, 100%. I'd never seen anything like that. They threw me way off guard. He busted my nose, started bleeding, then stepped back and head kicked me. I was like, oh man, this happened this fast. I got my ass whipped early. So,
Cowboy said he got his ass whooped early. Yes, he did.
keep fighting.
But of course,
I don't care, you know.
Cowboy's still Cowboy, man.
So,
He's still out here. He's still great. He got hit with some crazy shit.
family right here. I'm okay. Thank you everyone for supporting me over the years. I love it. I don't know what else to say.
I can speak for everybody and say, we love you too, Donald. Thank you for everything. Donald Cerrone.
Let's give it up for Cowboy Cerrone and Conor McGregor.
Cowboy, Cerrone,
Man,
Conor McGregor
guys,
together tonight.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I just had 4 cups of coffee. I am not going to be able to sleep tonight. But from me to you, a big thank you. I appreciate everyone that came out. I appreciate everyone that's been commenting and has been joining me in the discussion throughout the stream. You help me get better every single time. You help me keep this thing going. You help the time fly with all the questions, the great questions, comments, and feedback that you guys have. Please make sure you join me again next week for Anderson versus Jan Blachowicz. It's going to be a great card. It's going to be a fun card. Do not miss out. I can't wait to see you some bitches again. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. Thank you for stopping by. See you next time.